Welcome back to Rich Words Music, where today we're looking at this. It's the Joyo Dark Flame Overdrive Distortion pedal, and yes, by the name Dark Flame, you're correct in surmising that Joyo are intending this pedal to be used for the likes of modern metal and heavy, crushing, high-gain sounds. But for me personally, Rich Words Music, I don't always just play metal, so what we're going to do today is put this pedal through its paces in high-gain settings, sure, but we'll also see how it handles classic rock, indie, and some other low to medium-gain overdrive sounds as well. Now, when Joyo sent this pedal to me, I was instantly interested at the control layout because it reminds me very much of my Revv G3. Now, I love the Revv G3 distortion pedal. I use it for all of my high gain video sounds, and it's really versatile for pretty much everything I do. I really love the Revv G3, and when I saw that the controls on this were pretty much the same, I thought, aha, could we have something that is very similar in sounds as well as layout? So what do we have in terms of the layout? Well, this is where you turn on the pedal. You've got two big knobs here, one for your volume, one for your gain, a 3-band EQ here, low, medium and high, and a 3-way switch here, which Joyo say gives you 3 different types of crunchy distortion. So if you like your distortion crunchy, you'll be very well served here. In the middle setting, it's labeled as off. Up at the top, it's labeled dark, and down at the bottom, it's labeled as bright. And on the back here, we just have a mini switch that toggles the LEDs that come on when you switch the pedal on or off. If you want them on all the time, you can do that. If you want them off all the time, you can do that as well. And if you want them on when you turn the pedal on, you can also do that. So this is pretty standard when it comes to Joyo in terms of money. It's 59 euros, so comfortably under $100 as well in North America. It's the Joyo Dark Flame, and what we're going to do now is play it. I shall be using my Fender Telecaster for all of the single coil sounds in the playing part. I'll be using my Epiphone Les Paul for the humbucking sounds, and we'll do as many different tones as we can with the pedal, from classic rock and indie all the way through to tuned down metal chugging. What we're going to do after that then is a couple of little loops, one with each guitar, where I really get to twist the pedal's knobs to its extremes, and at the very end we'll do a little shootout comparison loop between the Dark Flame and my favourite, the Revv G3, and we'll see how similar or how different they end up sounding. Enough talk then. This is the Joyo Dark Flame Overdrive Distortion pedal. Let's play it now and we'll speak in more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the Joyo Dark Flame pedal, and I hope you enjoyed the playing and the tones. Now for me personally, as soon as I plugged this pedal into my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200, it turned that amp's clean channel into a roaring, snarling beast of modern high gain distortion. It's a really versatile pedal, it's a really modern sounding pedal, it's thick and fat and rich, and it growls and grunts with the best of them. It sounds fantastic. I really like the tones of this pedal, and I do have to say that straight away when I plugged it in, I was hearing similarities between the Dark Flame and my Revv G3 pedal. I'm not going to say it's a clone, I don't think it is, I think it's very similar, and I'm sure that the folks at Joyo were inspired by the Revv range of pedals, but this could be something like a cross between the G3 and the G4 or something like that, because it doesn't sound identical, and you'll hear that from the loop. It does sound very similar, and you can get them sounding pretty much dead on, but I don't think it's a clone, and in that sense, I guess it's okay, isn't it? That's something to discuss in the comments for sure. So what do I like about this pedal then? Well, the tones are fantastic. It does every kind of flavour of modern metal, modern high gain that you could ever want. It's really good for that. At this price, 59 euros or less than $100, whatever it is where you are, I think it's a very affordable way to get into that style of sound. And if you want a more modern flavoured gain setting in your rig, this is going to be a really good choice for you, something to try out for sure. Like I said, it's very versatile. You've got the 3-band EQ, and all 3 of those knobs gives you so many tone sculpting capabilities, so I think that's fantastic. You've also got the 3-way switch here that goes between off, dark and bright, and that really is very similar to the 3 different channel options that you have on the Revv pedals too. So in the off mode, it's the least aggressive, you turn it up to dark and then to bright for even more aggression. And in terms of gain reserves, this pedal has more than I think pretty much anyone could ever need. So if you're a modern high gain player, you'll be absolutely in heaven with this kind of a pedal. If you want to play more kind of medium gain sounds, you can do that too. This pedal has, in my opinion, a very low noise floor when it comes to modern high gain stuff. You'll probably want to use a noise gate anyway, but when you're using it for medium and lower gain stuff, it's kind of a little bit boomy. It doesn't work quite so well, and in my opinion it works better with humbuckers too. When I was using it with the Tele for the indie and for the classic rock stuff as well, there's kind of almost a sort of, not a white noise, but sort of something going on in the background that you can't dial out because the pedal just wants to do more than you're doing at that moment in time. It's not really built for that kind of music, and it does do it pretty well. You could use it for that, but I think this is really where hard rock and pure metal is at. So that's what I think in terms of good stuff. Otherwise, it's built really well. Again, for the price, you couldn't expect any more. It's a solid metal chassis. I don't think it's going to break quickly. The switches and knobs and controls all feel pretty well built, so full marks in that regard too. And yeah, if you dig the thing with the LED lights, that's also going to be something pretty funky to add into your rig as well. I quite like it. I have them on when the pedal is engaged, and that works for me. So I love all those things about the Dark Flame. What don't I like so much? Well, there's not really much I can criticize it for. Like we've said, it is very similar to the Revv G3. I don't think it's a clone, and in that regard I guess it's okay. If you have a problem with that, buy the Revv instead. I don't think anyone would have an issue with you doing that, and I would also always recommend that you try out the Revvs too, because I love the Revv G3 pedal. It's been in pretty much every video I've ever done on this channel, so I love it, and it won't be disappearing. I will be using both of these pedals in the future. In terms of other things I don't like, the one thing that I guess I could say was a little bit more fiddly than, for example, on the Revv pedal is the fact that the 3-band EQ controls, they're very small knobs. They're the similar sort of knob size that you'd find on mini pedals, and if you've got chunky fingers a bit like me, you might find it a little bit fiddly to turn the EQ knobs on this pedal, but that's something that you might also get used to. And if you're anything like me, you'll probably also find one setting or 2 settings and you'll basically set and forget, and that won't be an issue in the future. Apart from that though, I really love the Dark Flame pedal. I think it's a fantastic addition to Joyo's range, and for the price that you pay, I think everyone who's interested in medium to high gain distortion should check it out. It's really going to work for you in any of those contexts. If you're looking for another flavour of gain, if you've got a clean amp that you want to turn into a metal monster, or if you've got something like a Marshall JCM 800 and you want a really modern flavour of high gain to add to it, go with something like this, or try the Revv G3 because they're very similar ballparks. The Revv of course costs about 3 or 4 times as much as the Joyo, but it has that extra made in Canada quality, and it is the Revv G3. You know, it's a legend. The Joyo Dark Flame may go on to become a budget legend, but they're different things at this point. Overall then, full marks, full thumbs up for the Joyo Dark Flame. I think it's a great pedal, and I think if you're into high gain sounds, you should try one out as soon as you can. I hope this video helped you then, and I hope that it's let you know all you need to know about the Dark Flame pedal. If there's anything else you'd like to know, drop me a comment with a question down there, and I shall answer it to the very best of my my ability. And if you're still here with the video, why not consider giving the video a like, or maybe even subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot of other cool videos with cheap, affordable gear just like this, and there's plenty more to come too. If you'd like to watch another video from me, perhaps you would. There's a couple more being recommended here and here, or you could even subscribe to the channel by clicking my face up in the corner there. But that's been it for today's video. I've been Rich for Rich Words Music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.